You are not separate from love. You are a profound manifestation of it. And your ego's fears are your soul's desires. Your ego's fears of being seen, being judged, taking up space, taking a risk, starting something, failing, letting people down, not being who people expected you to be, stepping into a part of yourself that has felt so hidden and repressed for so long, it is screaming by now. Your ego's fears are your soul's desires. And you are here in this lifetime to release the control that your ego has over the actions that you are taking in order for your soul's light to shine. Your soul, as it is, has a natural magnetism. It is a light that, when it is truly shining, will attract everything in alignment with that light. Everything that is meant for your soul will find it if you are shining the light of your soul with the world. But when you hide your light, when you dim your light, which you've internalized as a response to the trauma, the bullying, the being told to shrink, to not be so loud, to not take up so much space, feeling you've had to dim your light and create this protective shell around you, not taking up the space that you actually long to take up. But now that skin, that shell is starting to feel unbearably small because you feel yourself ready to break free from this shell and into your next evolution. When your soul has the space to shine, it will attract all the people, opportunities, the money in alignment with the light of your soul. Because suddenly you are a beacon, and aren't we all looking for beacons? So the vision that you have, it's being blocked by these egoic fears. It's also being blocked by egoic desires. Because if you have the desire, for example, to be really well known, to grow your audience, to go viral, that's not going to sustain and let the light of your soul shine. I want to read you this quote that I encountered today from Alan Watts' book, The Wisdom of Insecurity, which I read last year, and I was returning to some of my highlights from that book, and this quote stuck out to me. Let me read it to you. It says, "Lasting happiness can only be achieved by giving up the ego self, which is a pure illusion anyway." So lasting happiness, fulfillment, alignment, purpose, bliss, heaven on earth can only be achieved by giving up, by renouncing, by allowing to die the ego self, which is a pure illusion anyway. And this image came to me so vividly as I was reading this quote. You know, sliding glass doors. And you know, sometimes there's the outside area and then there's a sliding glass door that goes inside at a restaurant, in a house, wherever. But you know, some doors, some glass doors are so clean that sometimes you don't know if it's a glass door or if it's open. And some children even run into glass doors because they don't realize, even adults this happens to, they don't realize that it's actually a glass door, not the air, not open. And that is exactly what the ego does. The ego tells you, you are running into a glass door. If you post this video, if you keep sharing yourself, if someone posts a hate comment and you keep going, if you share your writing with the world, if you write this book and then try to find a publisher for it, if you share your music on Spotify and then promote that music, if you have a course and then you sell the course, or you try to be seen sharing your offering with the world in monetary terms, you will run into that glass door. And everything will break. You will be injured. There will be cuts and wounds all over you. You will be bleeding. It will be irreparable, the damage that this will do. So don't run through the door. But remember, the ego self is a pure illusion. And that glass door that your ego is so convinced is glass is actually that sensation when you think it's a door, but then you do this with your hands because you know by now, you're older, you know that this happens to people or it's happened to you. And you say, just walk straight through. I just walk straight through. And so your ego thinks there is a glass door where there's actually an opportunity to move through something, move through the fear, not see the fear as a concrete wall, but move through it. And of course, it's not just stepping through a door. The air is more dense, it's more scary, so it feels a little bit like it could be a door. But that's how it feels, right? You know, when you push your hand, it's like, you kind of do it. Like, it's like, is this, what's happening? And then sometimes you do it again. The next time you walk through, you're like, okay, I'm just making sure because I don't want to walk through a glass door. This glass is very clean. So that density that we are asked to move through, that's what I call the portal. That fear is your portal to purpose. The fear of being seen is your portal. It's not here as a block. That's what we perceived it as. We've perceived it as opaque, as is something concrete and something that we cannot move through. It's blocking us. A block is a block, right? Like a block is something you can't penetrate or go through. But it's actually a portal. It's not a block, it's a portal. Let me continue this quote. And I read this quote from Alan Watts' book, but across so many spiritual traditions, there is this notion of the ego, of the shadow, of darkness and finding the light and so on. The ego self constantly pushes reality away. It constructs a future out of empty expectations and a past out of regretful memories. The ego self constantly pushes reality away. So I want you to imagine that your dream is a room. So your dream is taking place in some room. And for you, this could be true, or your dream could be in the forests, in the oceans. But let's assume your dream is represented by this dream room. And in that dream room is everything that you desire. Not only for yourself, but for all the people you are here to serve. So in that room, maybe your music is playing and there's this beautiful candle lit, there's this amber feeling, and people who are currently your idols are your friends. And they're in this room with you. Your dream collaborator sends you a text on a Sunday like, hey, I have this song that I've been writing and I'd love to have you on it. Would you like to come record on Tuesday? You're like, wait, is this my life? Maybe your dream room is a podcast studio and people who you used to watch and idolize, oh my word, look at their show, look at how many people view it, look at how amazing the guests they have. Now suddenly, that's your reality. Now suddenly, you're being invited to that show. Now suddenly, you are being able to invite the guests that you always dreamed of having. And now you're in that dream room. Maybe your dream room, you've been dreaming of writing a book, and this dream room is just filled with all the readers who love your writing and they're underlining it in cafes all over the world. It's been translated into every single language and they're just like, oh my word, look at this writing. I'm obsessed with this story or this essay. This literally is everything I didn't even know I needed. And they're pouring over the book, and at conversations with friends the next day, they're like, oh my word, you have to read this book. But I mean, you have to. Don't just put it on your TBR. Read this book instantly. That's your book. Okay? That's your dream room. Okay? Maybe your dream room is everyone who feels healed by your coaching, everyone who feels so much more free in their lives. And then suddenly they're able to bring that sense of healing into their families. And so children have more healed parents. And so they grow up more balanced and more loved, and they spread that love to their peers. And then love just grows through your work. So that's your dream room. Maybe your dream room is liberation for all people suffering oppression. That is your room. And part of your room in that space was that you lent your voice to the causes that mattered most to you. Maybe your dream room is full of all the lives you've touched who are so grateful that you did. Maybe your dream room is speaking on a stage. Maybe your room is finally quitting your 9-to-5 that drains you, makes it so much more difficult for you to find time to take care of yourself and create, that doesn't give you spaciousness and this feeling of aliveness. Maybe your room is looking back and being like, I'm so grateful that I was able to quit my job and now look at this flourishing life that I have, which is really handmade and heart-made for me. Okay, I invite you to take a few moments to sort of think about what your dream room could be. We're using the word room conceptually. So for you, it could actually be a room, or it could be, as I said, somewhere in nature. So that's your dream room. Okay, now there's where we are now, right now. And it'd be one thing if I said to you, oh, all you have to do to get your dream room is walk through this door that our ego thinks is a glass door, but is actually not a glass door, is actually transparent, or a little bit more dense than transparent, but transparent, okay? If that were the case, most of us would walk through. A lot of us wouldn't because of the blocks that we have to actually living our dreams, the fears that we have around the success. A lot of us would feel like, oh my God, that's so much pressure. And actually, if we walked straight into that room, our nervous systems probably couldn't handle it. Like, we think being on a stage, let's say if you want to be a singer and everyone singing along, that's beautiful, but your nervous system has to be able to handle the fact that you're on a stage like you're on a stage singing, people have come there for you, and there's hundreds of thousands of people in the stadium. Like, we think, if I just told you, like, you're in that reality, walk through this door, there's part of your nervous system that would be like, what? You mean I have to go out there? Like, they're waiting for me, you know? So again, we have these blocks. But most of us, the problem is not that we simply have to walk through the door and be in that reality, right? We're not one door away from that reality. There's a room before the dream room, and there's a room before that, and there's a room before that. And each time we have this portal of possibility asking us, step through. I know you're afraid. I know you've built up the glass door in your mind that thinks everything is going to shatter and break, but trust. Trust in this portal. Trust in the expansion it's inviting you into. But what do? We don't trust. So not only do we never get to the dream room, we don't have the faith. Remember, fear is a type of faith, but it is a faith in the wrong direction. I love this quote. I'm not sure who said it, but it's so powerful that we think we lack faith, but we do have faith. We just have faith in the worst case scenario. We have faith in being canceled. We have faith in losing all our money, losing everything. We have faith in losing all our friends, being judged and humiliated by everyone. We have faith in, I won't be able to handle this. We have faith in all the negative stories and beliefs, not in the dream, the vision, the possibility. So, in order to get to that dream room, can you imagine how many portals we would have to step through? And then just trust that even though this room kind of looks the same, let's say you dream of sharing yourself on YouTube. It's just, the vision is clear. I need to share myself on YouTube. So now, posting the first video, you're being invited to step through a portal. It's uncomfortable. It's going to ask you to sit with fear and discomfort and fear of being seen. And now you're in another room. But this room doesn't magically suddenly look like the dream room. It doesn't seem like, oh yes, I'm on the path. It seems like, oh my God, 13 views. Oh my word, a hate comment. Oh my word, crickets, silence, nothing. So now the question, what do you have faith in? Because now another portal emerges. You need to post your next video. Are you going to choose fear, or are you going to choose love? Here's the portal. And I believe as we walk through these portals, it becomes easier and easier, such that when we get to that portal into the dream room, it might even not even feel like we stepped through anything at all, because it's now a natural extension of our being. We've become the room. We've become the energy of the room. Like, what version of us could really be in the energy of my dream collaborator is reaching out to me and I'm saying, fuck yes. And then I'm going on with my day. My nervous system is not dysregulated. My body's not like, oh my God, I'm being attacked by a lion. What if I mess up? I'm like, I'm in the room. I've been in the room so often that now I'm in the room. And I want to say that I had my first in-person podcast interview in September. I was interviewing the person. And that's a dream that I had for a long time. Because I've been in the room so often, when I was in the room, it felt like I'd already been in the room. I was nervous in the sense of like, I'm alive and I'm a human and I'm here to be alive to the feelings of that nervous excitement within me. But I was not debilitatingly nervous. I was not dysregulated. I was not like, like this is going to go so, like what if I did? I was like, oh my word, I'm a perfect match for this. I am this. This is a natural extension of my being. Everything in my life has led me to this moment. I'm in the room because I've been in the room. So that is an example of carrying the energy of the room now, so that you're in the room before you're in the room. And when you feel called to be seen, you're going to be asked to be seen in small ways and then in bigger and bigger ways. So we need to build up the skill to walk through that portal of purpose, to honor our soul's desires and let go of the ego's illusion of what it thinks is certain to happen, which is an illusion, which is a fairy tale, which is pushing reality away. Okay, so your soul really wants to be in that room. It really wants to be in that room. But your ego has to collaborate by being willing to die in order for your soul to get to that room. Your ego needs to loosen its grip on you so that you can make the steps and move through the portals that will get you into that room. And a little song came. Actually, why do we call it little? Just call it a song. A soul song came to me, but it's not finished. In fact, only 2 lines emerged. But I felt like you needed to hear it, okay? Okay. Release the ego. Embrace the soul. Release the fear. Love is your home. Turn down the ego. Turn up the soul. Step through the portal to bring you home. The words came to me, turn down the ego, turn up the soul, but I'm not sure what comes next. Turn down the ego, turn up the soul. Come home to love, our only true goal. So my darling, my love, that concludes today's transmission. That is what I felt called to share with you. I want to remind you that if you are stepping into more visibility this year, let it be from the soul, let it be from the heart. I have this ebook called the Soulful Visibility Guide. I'm already getting such beautiful messages and feedback about some of the shifts that people are having in this ebook with this guide, which is free on my website, ayandastood.com. And some people have said that the journaling prompts have made them weep, have just felt like they opened something, they shifted something. There's a music playlist that people are journaling with or listening to before they create. When you're on my newsletter list, you'll be able to receive guidance, insight from some of the love letters that I send out there. So I love you so much. I'm sending you so much love. And part of why I teach on the fear of being seen is because I believe so much love, so much light of the world, of the collective, is being blocked by the shame and the fear that social conditioning and oppression and trauma have imposed on us. And this is all by design to keep us from expanding into the collective that is free, the collective that is living in bliss, that is living in heaven on earth. And I truly believe you are a piece of that puzzle. You are a portal. Just as we step through portals, artists are portals, visionaries are portals. I call this system creative portals, that we don't consume art, that actually in a sense art consumes us, that art is something that transports us. We see the world differently, we feel ourselves differently, we feel and relate to each other and the world differently from art that truly moves us. It's a portal that's transported us into deeper understanding, connection, beauty, thrill, wisdom. That's why it feels like if someone who you love hasn't read your favorite book or hasn't watched your favorite movie, it's like they won't understand a part of you. They haven't stepped through that portal and been transported by it. And so just as each artwork is a portal, or can be, you are a portal. Your consciousness can shift us into more of the energy that you bring. So if you bring the world more curiosity, more love, if you bring the world more wisdom, if you bring the world more healing, you are a portal to that place, to more of that energy. So if you are blocked, we can't step through the portal of your being, that is your artistry. So if you are not sharing yourself, how do we step through the portal of your understanding, your lessons, everything you've learned, everything you are, everything you create? So many of us, instead of being this inviting door, we are shut. There's poison ivy. It feels like there's not even an open door, and therefore we don't get to experience the light of your being, the love of your being, the generosity that you are here to share. So I believe in you, I believe in us, I believe in your vision, and I believe in you being seen in the spaces that you truly feel called to be seen. I don't believe in imposing any site of visibility on anyone, but I do believe we all have places on earth that we are like, I would love to be seen sharing my magic there. Some people, it's a small, tiny room. Some people, it's a stadium. But we have spaces where we want to be more seen than we currently are. And I am here to support you and guide you and be with you as you step through those portals, knowing that some of these portals are so potent that they do quantum leap us closer to that dream room. And the more fear we're able to hold, the bigger steps we can take, the more we can step into that dream room in a way that feels almost accelerated. But it's really because we're willing to sit in the discomfort that we're being invited into and through to, again, shed the ego self that we just spoke about in this quote and step into the soul self, step into the eternal essence and love of the soul so that we can truly attract what is meant for us to us. I love you. I'm sending you so much love. My darling, my love, my soul sibling, thank you for stepping into the Soul Salon. If you are still hearing or watching this, we are soul siblings. We are resonating on the same frequency. And so something you may struggle with, that I struggle with, is the fear of being seen. You know that visibility is involved in you living your creative purpose and being in your power, serving the collective through your gifts, through your magic, through your medicine. In order to do that, you know you need to be more seen than you are allowing yourself to be right now. I have a gift just for you, heart made for us on this frequency, and it is a free ebook called the Soulful Visibility Guide. That is Soulful Visibility. Like, we don't just want to be seen, we want to be felt, we want to be heard, we want to move and be moved. So I do have a free gift for you, and all you need to do is go to my website, ayandastood.com, and there you will be able to input your email address and receive this directly to your inbox. This is such a juicy and delicious guide, and I change the free offering every few months, so get it while you can. All the links are in the show notes. So thank you so much. I love you, and I will see you on the next soul session. Okay, I love you. Bye.